making my mouth water. Isn't that awesome? I love it. Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera Show. You know, we all have our favorite cookbooks, but if you're like me, many of those include Junior League recipe books. So today, we're not only going to celebrate the wonderful history and the foundation of the Junior League organization, but we're going to make some fantastic recipes out of some of these very familiar cookbooks. We're going to start with Tea Time at the Masters and their connoisseur's casserole. I know the page number 156. I've made it so many times. It's a great side dish, really creamy, wonderful. Hope you'll try it. Then we're going to move to Charleston. We're going to do their Meeting Street crab, a fantastic appetizer. It's really creamy and delicious, and I'm going to put a twist on it and show you how to make that as a side dish. And then finally, if you're looking for a fantastic molasses spice cookie, there's none better than On the Square Savannah style, their recipe for that cookie. So we've got some wonderful recipes to make today. We've got a lot to learn about the philanthropy of each of these organizations and what they give back to the community. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get started. All right, we're ready to get started on the Junior League of Augusta's Tea Time at the Masters recipe for connoisseur casserole. And I'm joined today by Alan Dyer, and Alan is the president of the Augusta Junior League. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, and we are so excited. We've been told that this is the favorite recipe in the cookbook. Now, how do you come up with that?
Word of mouth, and when you go to something, somebody always makes it.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great. Well, you know, it is a great recipe. As I said earlier, it's on page 156 in this book. We've made it so many times. And actually, Haley Newman, that is our camp director at VeryVera, when we were prepping this out, she said it was the first recipe that she got to make all by herself. So it's very easy and it's really delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We've got a can of shoe peg corn. I'm going to add to that French-style green beans, and celery and onion, which you've been over there cutting up for me. Celery, onion. We've got pimento, and this would be one of those optional ingredients. It's beautiful color-wise, but if you don't want pimento, you can leave that out. We've got sour cream. And like I said, I don't want to take anything away from Haley, but this is pretty easy to make. All right, we've got freshly shredded cheddar cheese. And then this is how you know it's an old recipe, because it uses cream of celery soup. So, you know, Alan, one of the things that we found really interesting is because this recipe is so old, some of the can sizes have changed through the years. So when we put it on the website, we put the right size can. So I'm going to add a little salt and pepper to this and mix this together. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let you get started on the topping over there. We've got almonds, crushed Ritz crackers, and butter. So here again, we just mix this up, and I've greased a 1.5 quart casserole dish, and you can use a rectangle or a round or an oval, whatever size you think looks best. So as we've determined, this recipe is word of mouth. You hear people all the time say, oh, I make that connoisseur casserole all the time out of tea time. Tell us a little bit about the cookbook itself and some of the philanthropy that the Junior League of Augusta does with the money raised from the cookbook.
Well, Tea Time was published in 1974 when our membership was 426 members. The Junior League of Augusta will be 90 years old next year.
Wow.
And last year we raised $30,000 that went back into our community, and we volunteered over 400 hours in the community.
As a former member myself, one of my favorite times was always like the rummage sale, the attic sale, and you raised a lot of money there. I remember people just could not wait to get in. In terms of this, the Tea Time book was published, when was it? When did that book come out?
Tea Time was 1974, but we actually published the first Junior League cookbook in 1940, and it's called Recipes from Southern Kitchens.
And it's the oldest Junior League cookbook, isn't that correct? Okay, we're going to put this on top. Gosh. And, you know, I always love on the show to talk about a way to kind of twist a recipe to make it your own. So for me, this recipe would be extremely delicious in the summertime when the beans were fresh that you could blanch. You could cut the corn right off the cob like I've done many times on the show. And if you wanted to get fancy like a connoisseur, you could make your own cream sauce and put a little bit of that extra celery. So this is gonna pop into the oven, bakes up for about 30 or 40 minutes just to get everything hot. And when we come back from the break, we're gonna be joined by Madison from Charleston, and we're gonna put together the Meeting Street Crab that is part of Charleston Receipts cookbook. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining us, we're doing recipes today from 3 of my favorite Junior League cookbooks. And I'm joined now by Madison Anderson, and Madison is the Director of Development for the Charleston Junior League. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I've put you to work already.
I am stirring away over here.
Okay, so we've got a little bit of butter melting, and what we're gonna make today is what you're telling me is the favorite recipe out of the Charleston
That's what I've heard, yes, the Meeting Street Crab.
Gosh, it's one of those that everybody says, have you tried the Meeting Street Crab?
Yeah.
So we're gonna try that today. This is a great appetizer.
Yes.
And tell the little story about this, how you know that this is a favorite.
So I did some digging and I spoke to one of our sustaining members, and her mother was actually one of the co-editors of Charleston Receipts. This is actually her recipe, and her name's Miss Verena Cohen, and she grew up around this recipe and everyone loves it, so we're gonna try it today.
Okay, so we're making a little roux here. So we kind of toasted the butter a little bit, and now I'm gonna slowly add in my cream.
Okay.
Madison, one of the little tips I love to give about a white sauce is if you make it slowly, you don't have to wait for it to thicken. So if you'll just move that whisk around pretty quickly as I'm adding in this cream. This is kind of a thick sauce, but it's because we're going to be adding sherry. And of course, it looks like we're really getting serious here with the jigger, using that as a measuring instrument. But this is a really nice, just a nice thick, because this is cream, of course, instead of just milk.
Looks good.
And then we'll add in the sherry.
Okay.
And I love sherry with crab. That smell is just fantastic.
Smells great.
And then a little bit of salt and pepper.
Okay.
And then once you've got that mixed in, we'll turn the heat off. And in the recipe, it actually says, take it off the fire.
Oh, wow.
Well, guess what? With the Wolf induction stove, we don't have to take it off the fire.
Yes.
Because honestly, that eye turns off just like that. That's
Okay.
one of the reasons I love cooking on that.
Perfect.
So bring that over. And then at the fresh market, you can always pick up crab meat, and it actually has a pretty long shelf life. But in your area, you could go crabbing,
Yep,
right?
right outside.
Do you and your husband do that sometimes?
We have a couple times, actually.
Well, it's kind of serious when you start picking the crab meat out. But we're going to add the crab meat in now.
Keep stirring.
And I'm good. Yeah, just keep stirring that about. And actually, I'll let you do a spatula now instead. And this is just a fantastic quick appetizer. And you know, crab meat is not the most inexpensive ingredient if you aren't out catching them yourself,
Right.
but it has a long shelf life. So one of the things that really makes this nice is that you can have this on hand. Most of the ingredients you have, butter, flour, you know, all of that. So we've added that, and now I'm just gonna use a Pyrex casserole dish. And because the presentation today, which is one of my favorite parts of the show, we can make this look really incredible with the way that we present it. So we're just going to put this in a pie plate, but I'm going to scoop out like a nice tablespoon of it, because I'm going to give it back to you to top it with the cheese. Okay. And then, like I always do on the VeryVera show, there's always a twist.
Of course.
So, of course. So if there is an appetizer, you've got yourself covered. But here you've got this wonderful thing that you're making, and we're gonna grill some steaks on the grill, right?
Yes.
And we're looking for a delicious twist to a side dish. So what about crab stuffed mashed potatoes?
That looks so good.
I mean, amazing. So, you know, these old recipe books are just, coming back in style. So tell us quickly about your philanthropy with the league and what you're doing.
So at the Junior League of Charleston, we raise over $100,000 a year for our community projects. This past summer, we started the Junior League of Charleston Diaper Bank. Just since the fall, we've been able to distribute over 30,000 diapers to families in need. I don't know if you know this, but actually 1 in 3 families express that they need diapers. This is a dire need across the Low Country and in the United States as well.
Well, if you're looking for a reason to do something great, you need to buy this cookbook, help out this community. And when we come back from the break, we're going to go into Vera's Corner. We're going to tell you a little bit about sweeteners. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Today on the show, we're making a delicious molasses cookie. And so I want to introduce you to where the molasses comes from and something more about other sweeteners. White sugar is the most common sweetener used in baking. It comes in fine or superfine, which dissolves easily and is used for frostings, meringues, or in drinks. Brown sugar is a processed mix of white sugar and molasses, which gives it color and a distinct flavor. Brown sugar is available in light and dark, with dark having a stronger flavor. Molasses is a thick, dark brown syrup, generally made from the juice pressed from sugar cane during refining. It is notably used in ginger snaps and gingerbread, but it can add sweetness to other baked goods too. Honey is made by bees from flower nectars. It adds moisture and a characteristic flavor to baked goods. Because it caramelizes more quickly than sugar, honey causes baked goods to brown more quickly. Stevia is a zero-calorie natural sweetener that comes from the South American stevia plant. Its sweetness is concentrated, so it goes a long way. Sprinkle stevia on the top of oatmeal or cereal, or use it to sweeten drinks. So I hope you enjoyed this sweet Vera's Corner today. And the reason we did that was we wanted you to know a little bit more about molasses, because we're making a fantastic recipe out of On the Squares Savannah style, which is their molasses spice cookie. And I'm joined today by Melissa Jackson, the president of the Savannah Junior League, and Mary Tyler Paradise, who is a member of the committee for the cookbooks. And ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you, and certainly this whole episode today on Junior League cookbooks is so exciting. So we're making something sweet, always end with something on the sweet side. So we went ahead, Melissa, and you got the butter, the shortening, and the sugar creamed together. And so now you're going to add in your egg and your molasses. So while you're adding those in, I'm going to start with the dry ingredients and also introduce the fact that Mary Tyler is going to get the cookies that we made yesterday ready to be baked. So this recipe is a little bit on the sticky side. I'm sure you both know that. And so to refrigerate the dough for a little bit before you get ready to work with it makes it work really well. So she's going to be making little balls out of this that we're going to roll in the sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the dry ingredients to our all-purpose flour, which is salt, baking powder, and cloves. Look at how much cloves are going into this recipe. Usually you like a dash. We've got ginger, cinnamon, and I'm just going to whisk that together. And look at that molasses. That is really a beautiful color, which is one of the things I love about this cookie is how pretty they are. So, Mary Tyler, tell us a little bit, since you're part of the cookbook committee, tell us about the books and how you come up with what the favorite recipes are.
Right, so we have 3 cookbooks. Savannah Style came out in 1980, and it's a collection of classic Southern recipes. In 1996, we updated it to Downtown Savannah Style, which has some lighter fare, some healthier options. And in 2015, On the Square Savannah Style was written, and it is more of it's a cookbook, but also like a tourist book for Savannah. It's called On the Squares, After the Squares in Savannah.
So kind of a coffee table.
Yes, it is. It is a great hostess gift, a great gift for anybody that's coming to visit in Savannah. Has some great modern recipes in it and beautiful pictures of the city of Savannah that were taken by a Junior League member.
Well,
actually,
lots of reasons to purchase these, and the reason we're purchasing these, Melissa, is for philanthropy and fundraising. So tell us a little bit about what the League is doing in Savannah.
Absolutely. Every year we host a thrift sale, which is our annual fundraiser, and the proceeds from that event goes back into our community. One of our signature projects is our Fit Kids Fest, which is focused on helping children improve their mind and their bodies through various resources that are available to them.
Gosh, and you know, these books never go out of style.
They don't.
You know, the thing that we've had fun with today is that some of the recipes, maybe you can't find that size can anymore, but you can adapt. We've twisted some of the recipes, like the one we did last segment, to make something different out of something. And so when I was thinking about how do you twist this recipe and make it different, honestly, this recipe is so good, you do not want to touch it.
It's delicious.
It is delicious. The only thing that I could kind of come up with, and what Mary Tyler is doing right now, she's rolling it in the granulated sugar. I'm going to let you finish adding that flour as we go. And one of the things that I thought might work with this is when they come out of the oven, as soon as they're close enough that you can touch it, they're cool enough that you can touch, you could flip it and maybe dust it with some of the coarser ground sugar to kind of give it like a little bit of a sparkle. So it's really a delicious cookie. Well, we've talked about 3 wonderful books, 3 great recipes, and when we come back from the break, we're going to let each city show their style and how these will be presented. So you've got to come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and we are surrounded by members of Junior Leagues because I was actually in the Augusta Junior League myself. So we've had really a lot of fun today preparing recipes from all 3 of these wonderful cookbooks, and we have displayed each one separately, and we're going to walk through each one by one. Okay, I'm joined back with Alan Dyer, who's the president of the Augusta Junior League, and we had so much fun today making the #1 recipe out of that book, the connoisseur's casserole, and it is so easy to make. You generally have most of those ingredients in your pantry or in your refrigerator, and it just bakes up beautifully. It toasts really pretty on the top, and then look how colorful that is. You know, you can leave the pimento out, but I love the red in there, don't you?
It adds a nice
So that's
spot of
just
color.
great. So tell us a little bit more about the philanthropy of the Augusta Junior League.
The Junior League of Augusta will be 90 years old next year. Our focus is generational poverty, and we focus on women and children in our community.
Well, it's a great organization, and we're going to move now to Charleston and what we learned from them today. Okay, I'm joined again by Madison Anderson, and she is the Director of Development for the Charleston Junior League. And we had so much fun today with recipes out of Charleston Receipts and the now famous Meeting Street crab, which is displayed here as a dip. And I mean, you can just take that Frito and just dip that thing into
So
this.
yummy.
So yummy. And then we put a twist on it today with taking the dip and filling a twice stuffed potato. So amazing. So tell us a little bit more about the philanthropy with your organization.
Well, the Junior League of Charleston is going to be celebrating 95 years as an organization next year. During that time, we've been able to seek out unmet needs in our community and figure out how we can help. Most recently, we did this through the Junior League of Charleston Diaper Bank, and all of the sales of our cookbooks will go toward helping our organization.
We need to help them. And now we're going to move to the Savannah Junior League. All right, I'm back with my friends from Savannah, Melissa Jackson, who's the president of the Junior League of Savannah, and Mary Tyler Paradise, who's part of the committee on the cookbook. So tell us a little bit about those molasses spice cookies.
So today we made our molasses spice cookie from a recipe from our newest cookbook on the Square Savannah style. They're perfect for a holiday gathering. They taste like Christmas morning.
Oh
They're
my
so
goodness,
good.
any time of year. And then Melissa, give us a little bit more information about the philanthropy of the league.
Absolutely. The Junior League of Savannah currently focus on improving the academic achievement of K through 12 students. Last year alone, we donated $40,000 to the community and over 12,000 hours in community service.
Wow, such a great organization and wonderful benefits to the community. And so we're going to get everybody together now to celebrate what we prepared today. All right, so I want to thank Alan, Madison, Melissa, and Mary Tyler for being my guest today. I want to thank each of these junior leagues for their participation with the information and the cookbooks and certainly the recipes. And I want to encourage each of you, if you're looking for a special gift, a housewarming, a wedding gift, buy one of these cookbooks. Remember, no matter what you do, do it in good taste, and come back with us next week for another episode of the Very Vera Show.
To see what's cooking with the Very Vera Show, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.